Hi, this is Claire again, and today we are dealing with a very big question that seems so little. How to answer yes and no questions with the cards. And it seems, of course, easy. Yes or no, yeah? But if you think about it, we very fast become involved with questions about destiny, about life itself. What is fate? What are the things that I can do? What are the things I have to cross in my life? Sometimes it's really like people can't go around something. Their destiny will always, again and again, let them stand before this door, and they have to deal with it. Otherwise, they will get it again and again and again until they solve it. So it's a big, big field, and of course, the first thing you really have to have is a good question. It sounds very easy. Yes and no questions are easy, but in fact they are not, because the first thing is you cannot ask a question with a no inside. This means you cannot ask like, oh, will this not happen? Will it be avoided, and things like that. Try to be exact with your question. This is like, will this happen? So there is no in the question, because otherwise, when the cards answer yes or no, you can start to feel insecure. Is this a yes or is it a no? What they are answering, in fact, yes. So it is important to have a good and a short question, and please keep in mind, it's best not to ask the big questions, because, for example, will he marry me? Yes or no? And then you get an answer, and let's say the cards say no. And of course you are thinking, why not? Is there something I can do about it? Is there anything that can happen, that I can make happen? Is there something I should do or I should not do? Sometimes it's about the things we should not do. And your head starts working, and everything is like, oh, you have more questions now than that questions that were answered. So please stick to easy questions when asking yes or no questions. And for big questions like marriage, like buying a house, all these things, please don't work with yes or no questions. You do yourself a favor when you are, for example, taking out the tarot cards or the Lenormand, and you are asking about the things that are around also. Yes, not just yes or no, but which are the influences, in which direction is it going? Because then you have all the stuff you can work with. You can make it work out the way you like it. Yeah, and yes or no is just not enough for these questions. Yeah, so it's not always the big solution. It seems so easy to ask, like, will it be or will it not be? But in some cases, especially with the big things in life, you will have more questions after the cards have answered than you had before. So just go with tarot, go with Lenormand, and for yes and no questions, I recommend playing cards. You see in my videos, I did this card. This is playing card in a tradition, reading playing cards in a traditional German way. You can, of course, also use a deck, a normal playing card deck. You can use a baraja. All these things that are used worldwide are possible if you are just asking for yes or no. And how to do it is in the German deck. It is quite easy. You can also use poker cards and so on, because we have black and red cards. And although as a tarot reader I don't go with the interpretation that the crosses are negative cards, because as a tarot reader I know that these little crosses are like the wands in tarot, and this is element fire, and this is positive, and this is strong, yeah. But in the traditional way of reading playing cards, and we have to stick to this if we want to make it work for yes and no questions, the black cards, and these are the spades and the crosses, they are no. And the red cards, the diamonds and the hearts, they are yes. And the hearts are even a bit more of a yes. Exactly the same way for the negative cards. The spades are a bit more of a no, and the crosses are not so grave, they are also a no, but there are nuances, you know? It is not like everything is the same. So if you want to have it in a row, we could say this is a straight yes, this is a good yes, this is a, let's say, a good no, so to say. You might do something about it with these cards in the middle. Yeah, this is not so firm, not so bold, so to say. And this is a straight no. Yeah, and some people, they just draw one card and then they see it. Yes, no, and the cards in the middle, a big yes or a big no, so to say, and a small yes and a small no. And yes, some people always divide it. Yes, you can make things very, very nicely complicated. For example, the cards with the numbers, in Skat it is 7 until 10, and then come the person cards. People see them as the 7 is small and so on. It goes bigger, then comes the person cards, the knave, the lady, the king, and then the ace is the biggest card. And so people start to calculate, you know. Some people even draw 3 cards. So they can see, okay, do I have more red cards or do I have more black cards? So they have more like a tendency. It's not like drawing one card and then just, oh, yeah, yes or no, but why? Yeah, this is what I said in the beginning. With some questions, you will have more questions after the answer than you had before. So this is also an option. You could draw 3 cards, and for example, if you have 3 black cards, this would be a certain no, especially here as we have the highest card of the biggest no's, the spades, so to say. So you can make a little, we say in German, you can make a science out of it. You can do this if you prefer it. Of course, in my experience, what I would do personally, I would draw 3 cards and I would look after the big yes and the small yes, of course. So to say, the big yes is the hearts, the small yes is the diamonds. I would look after the crosses, the small no, and the big no of the spades. And I would also look onto the value of the cards and onto the traditional meaning. If you are a beginner, yeah, don't make it so complicated. Start, learn, get a feeling for it, and then on the go you will learn how to evaluate the cards. So if you are a beginner, I would say just pick 3 cards and look just after the colors. 1 red, 2 black, it's a no, for example. Here you have 2 red, 1 black, it's a yes. Yeah, 3 red would of course be a very big yes, and 3 blacks would be a very big no. But please keep in mind what I said at the beginning. Although the topic seems very easy, we are deeply in the philosophical field of what is my destiny, what can I do, and things like that. So sometimes, as a card reader, I encounter people that are searching for very quick solutions. Just tell me yes or no. And I know these people, they think they will be satisfied when they have a yes or no. But from experience, I know this is just the point where the questions start. Yeah, people will be like, okay, it's a yes, but why? How can I be sure that it is a yes? What is the underlying energy pattern? What is the root of it, where it comes from? How reliable is this? And so we end up with reading tarot on Lenormand, because it's just not that easy. Your head wants to have an explanation, yeah, and you don't get an explanation with the playing cards if you use just this system. But please try it out, and as always, write it down. Write down your results, because sometimes you see things in a different light later. You will see, oh, yes, the cards were right. I just did not know what they meant. Yeah, and sometimes it's just that we lack imagination. This is something I encounter as a card reader quite often. People are more insecure when they have positive cards. This sounds strange, but it is really like this. It's like a, oh, I didn't expect it. How can this be? This can't be. The situation is so negative at the moment. How should this be? And a quarter year, half of a year later, people come back and tell you, oh, I just could not have known, but this and that happened. And so it became positive. It went in a good way. So be open. Yeah, if you ask the cards, don't be surprised to get answers. And they won't always be matching what you expected, but that's what it's about, because we often have blind spots. This is just natural. We would not ask the cards if we knew. Yeah, there is something we instinctively feel, there is something missing. I seem to be overseeing something. And so be prepared for answers if you ask the cards. And I hope this video could give you a small introduction. Of course, you can't calculate life. Yeah, it's not like, oh, I take these cards and then it's a yes or it's a no, and this is calculated and there will be no further influences and things like that. It's more like a moment capture of the thing. Yeah, because of course you are in control of many things that are not fate, so to say. So I know from reading the tarot cards, there was once a couple I read for, and they were like, should we divorce or not? It was really at a point where things did not look very good, and they had the death card in the reading, and death means the end. This is finished, and this was a tarot reading, and yes, this card was on a certain way, it was so shocking for them. It was like black on white. They saw what was coming. And this made them move. It made them move in an emotional way. To see this card, the death card, was so intense for them that they started to work on their relationships. They saw, okay, it will be like this. It was not a game anymore. Like it wasn't a game, but you know, sometimes we need a dramatic moment to see what is really going on. And this was a dramatic moment, and they started to make over their whole relationship, and they are together until right now, no divorce, because the cards kicked them, so to say. Yeah, sometimes it is, we need to face things and we need to see it as bad as it can get, and then we develop the energy to change it. Yeah, so please, of course, I hope the video helps you to, for example, for smaller questions, to find easier an answer. Yeah, but please keep in mind it is very alluring, so to say, to have easily yes and no and yes and no, and I don't have to think anymore. Of course, I know you are not like this, but there are people who are like that. It is not that easy, but it might be a very helpful way to ask the cards. Even if you are seeing, like the couple, the death card, and sometimes seeing, oh, my ways are blocked, is exactly the point where your inner forces stand up and say, no, we are going that way. And then the cards, although they were negative, they have helped you. Because, and this is my finishing sentence, we are really getting into philosophy here, but it is important when reading the cards, because sometimes you need this kick, sometimes you need negative cards to stand up. And in the end, reading the cards is always for life. It is not something you do for itself. It has to work for something. Yeah, it is not because it's Selbstzweck in German, and I don't get the English word now. It is not a thing to do for itself, so to say. Yeah, it is not something detached from life. It is for life. The cards, to make this a finishing sentence, we say in Germany, especially towards tarot cards, they are a good servant, but they are a bad ruler. Yeah, and this is where it comes down to when reading the cards. So I hope this could give you some inspirations. I'm always happy about your comments. And we will see each other soon in a new video.